Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. I want to speak to us all here this morning. I want to use the word in the title, conflict. Conflict of interest, conflict of mind. And I want to try to use words to penetrate, to hopefully get you to comprehend and understand. The Hebrew way, the set apart way, is totally different. It's totally different than the worldly way. 25 something years ago, when the Most High Yah, or shall I say, when I finally realized that He was talking to me and speaking to me, from the very beginning of that, while my spirit was able to comprehend that He was drawing me to Him, and I willfully accepted the charge, I did realize something way back then, that my mind was totally different than what I would read about in this book right here, in this book. And of course, I've read the verses and they've stuck deep down in my heart ever since. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I want to say this. I have been living set apart for the better part of almost 2 decades. And I can tell you that living set apart, my mind and our mind here at Straightway functions totally different than the people who have a worldly mindset. I just do not see things your way. I've been there. I know the mind of the world. I know the way that it functions. And I know the grieving that I experience when I'm trying my best to reach out and trying to bring the Israelites up to a greater level of comprehension and understanding. I already know that I'm up against a wall. I'm up against training. I'm up against education. I'm up against manipulation. I'm up against coercion. I'm up against deception and deceit. I'm up against treachery. I'm up against whoredoms. If truth can penetrate the minds, because there is a way that seemeth right unto a man. And believe me, listen to me very closely. And this is without making any personal attacks on anyone. I'm just stating facts here. There's a way, the way you think and the way you live. Listen to these words very carefully right now. In your present state. Did you hear what I said? I said in your present state. With the little amount of biblical knowledge that you've been able to gain, you really truly believe and think that you're functioning the right way. I cannot begin to tell you how much grief that I have literally experienced from people who've been in this thing less than 10 years, and they really truly believe and think that they are functioning right, and they have no problem whatsoever at all expressing their heart. They have no problem whatsoever at all expressing what they believe and think to be truth. And it's like there's something greatly missing in our world and in our society today. And you know what that is? Humility. It's truly missing, because even now you're listening to me with a particular mindset. You are. And how can I tell you that you don't think like I do, and you don't operate the way that I do? And am I saying that I am the end all, the be all? Yah forbid. I am the least of all men. I am the lowest of all men on this earth, and Yah knows my heart in that matter. But what's disturbing is when you allow education and you allow the confidence that you put in your worldly mindset thinking that you're intelligent and you got everything figured out and you know everything, when the truth is you don't know nothing at all. The worldly mindset is a very devastating thing. And it's causing, even still today, because it functions a certain way, people to perish. It just literally does. And if the Ruach can't reach you through words, because whether we like it, comprehend it, understand it, or not, the Most High Yah is still using anointed vessels to put forth his word in order to penetrate the hearts of men today. And it's difficult trying to reach you when you have been functioning after a worldly mindset, yea, all these many years. I want to say this as humble as I can, and hopefully without offense. But when I'm starting to, when I talk about biblical things, or when I talk about the way of life or the way that we should comprehend and understand things, you've got to stop looking out of the lenses of the eyes that you have had trained and manipulated by this world system, because there's no way you can comprehend spiritual things. That the natural man cannot comprehend the things of Yah. You may be able to make moves geographically, naturally. You may be able to do things, but that does not mean that you have been transformed by this right here, the mind. That doesn't mean you have had this mind transformed by this true and living word. And mind you, this word only becomes true, and it only becomes a living word when you do it. Not mental assent. Not people. The internet is replete with people who can quote 1,000 scriptures a whole lot better than I can. I remember those days of youth when I used to go around and quote chapter and verse. Oh boy, do I remember those days. And then one day, after a multitudes of years, that the Most High Yah, blessed be to his magnificent and holy name, ministered to me by the Ruah, showed me how foolish and how prideful and how stupid I was. So I started using his way. I've been using his way, at least I thought I was, but now I'm using wisdom. And I'm speaking to people and reaching them by the word. Now, he is the one that does the drawing. My job is to just speak it. Whether they hear or whether they forbear will have no bearing whatsoever at all on me. But the thrust of this is this. It's hard for somebody like me to speak to somebody like you who has never sacrificed or died out to any part of this mindset whatsoever at all, and to speak to you spiritual things. I have to come cardinal in so many ways. Just in order to try to reach out to you and have to repackage and rehash this word again and again and again, over and over again. And sometimes people get it and sometimes people don't. The Hebrew way, our way, is diametrically opposed to your natural cardinal understanding and to this world. I don't expect for you to be able to comprehend and understand everything that I am saying, because the blessed, that's what the word says, the blessed ones are not the ones that hear the word, but the blessed ones are the doers of the word. And no matter what you do in life, if you cannot find yourself doing this word, you have no wisdom, no knowledge, no comprehension, no understanding, nor the ability to be able to discern spiritual things. And you know how it's going to show? Because your faith is going to show you exactly where you are at in what you do. Now, mind you, if you have a worldly mindset and you function and do things after the manner of people of this world, you're going to continue to keep assuming that that's right. See, that's the age conflict right there, because the way is totally different than the world. Again, I have been in the world. I have lived in the world. And I'm still physically in this world, but I am not of this world. All you have to do is listen to my speech and my cadence. And the more that I conform to the image of that word right there, the greater I am hated. That's fine. That's part and parcel to the call. I understand it. I accept it. I embrace it, and I wear it like a glove. It's hard trying to reach many of you when your mind has not been transformed and it has not been changed, and nor are you trying to change it. It really is. It's a very difficult task. The word says that the carnal mind is enmity against Yah, and it is simply just not subject to Yah. Every single day in his life, I'm sure we have little small opportunities of faith to see where our trust really lies. But when it all comes down to it, you see how that the majority of us, the majority of people in this world today, they are comfortable. They are comfortable with leaning to the arm of flesh rather than letting faith play out. It's grieving. It really, truly is grieving. But I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies of Yah, that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto Yah, which is your reasonable service. And that you be not conformed to this world, but that you be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what is good and acceptable and the perfect will of Yah, which is your reasonable service. I hope I said something to being able to stimulate thought, because if the word can't bring us out of these bizarre behaviors, then nothing else will be able to deliver us. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. The King is coming.